What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. For today we have the latest and greatest from LG, the LG G7. And of course, since we are in 2018, of course we get the notch. Now, if you hate the notch that badly, you can always hide it. So it only takes a couple of seconds and then you can have a notch-free phone. But I'm pretty sure the notch is here to stay, so you might as well get used to it. The phone's design isn't anything radical or mind-blowing, and the phone kind of blends in with all the other flagships out there. So you have glass on the front, glass on the back, and of course a metallic frame. Now, since we have glass on the back and I've been using the phone without a case for the past couple of weeks, of course I got some scratches on the back. So we have Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, but if you don't take care of the phone, it's gonna get scratches fairly easy. With this one we also get a dedicated power button, because with previous LG devices the power button used to be in the fingerprint scanner. So now you have a power button on the side and the fingerprint scanner is just a fingerprint scanner. Now I prefer it this way because I find it much easier to use. And talking about that fingerprint scanner, well, the fingerprint scanner works great, but I find it a bit slower than other flagships. Now don't get me wrong, it's fast enough for day-to-day usage, but it's just a bit slower than other flagships, and hopefully this can be addressed in a future software update. And talking about buttons, on the other side of the phone we have yet another button, so something that we've seen on the Samsung Galaxy S9 for example, but with this one you don't get to access Bixby, you get to access the Google Assistant, but you can easily turn that off if you don't find it useful. On the front of the device we have a gorgeous 6.1 inches IPS screen with a Quad HD resolution, and even though the screen is quite massive, you can still use the phone holding it in one hand, and that's not something that we usually see with most phones with this screen size. Now the phone only weighs about 162 grams, and that's 20 grams lighter than the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, so having this phone in your pocket it's definitely much more comfortable. Since this is an IPS panel, of course the blacks aren't gonna be as deep as you'd get from an OLED panel, but personally it doesn't bother me that much. Now if you take the phone outside, the screen's brightness is also pretty good, so you can see the phone in direct sunlight. But if you look at this phone and then you look at the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, you're gonna notice that on the LG G7 you get way more reflection. So the screen on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, it's better to see in direct sunlight. Like many other flagships out there, the LG G7 also gets IP68 certification, and that means that if you're gonna drop this phone in water, it should be fine afterwards. We also get wireless charging and fast charging, and the fast charging it's important because we only have a 3000 mAh battery inside this device. On one charge you're going to be able to make it through an entire day and get between 5 and 7 hours of screen time. And even though that doesn't sound exceptional, it's on par with all the other flagships, because you're going to get about the same screen on time with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus or the iPhone X. The cameras on the LG G7 have also been improved, mostly comparing this to the LG V30. So now on the front of the device we get the 8 megapixel front-facing camera with the f1.9. So the pictures that you're going to take with the front-facing camera with plenty of light are extremely sharp, so they look very good, but as soon as you don't have enough light, all the pictures don't turn out that great, and I was expecting a bit more, mostly considering that we get that f1.9. We also get better cameras on the back of the device, so now we have two 16 megapixel cameras. One of them has a f1.6 and it has optical image stabilization, and the other one has a f1.9, and that's a wide angle lens, and I know that a lot of you prefer that wide angle lens. Now me personally I prefer to have a zoom lens as the second lens, but again this is just a personal preference. I've also done a camera comparison video between the LG G7 and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and I found that the pictures taken during the day with the LG G7 are actually better than the ones taken by the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. But for the pictures taken in low light, the S9 Plus was better. And I'm gonna leave a link to that video in the video's description or the top right corner, just in case you wanna check it out. Now, one thing I don't like about the cameras on the back of this phone are the 4K recordings. So with this device we don't get image stabilization for 4K recordings, where with the most other flagships today we get image stabilization for 4K recordings. So I hope that that can be improved in a software update in the future. There is also an artificial intelligence mode in the camera app, but personally I didn't like it too much because it just oversaturates pictures. So the pictures look like they're Instagram ready, if you know what I mean. So definitely that needs a bit of work, because as it is I don't really want to use it because the pictures just don't look that great. Performance-wise, of course, we get the latest and greatest CPU, so we have the Snapdragon 845 and 4 gigs of RAM, and of course Android 8.0. Now, the phone is just as fast as the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, but it's not as fast as the OnePlus 6, for example, but that's quite normal. I mean, the OnePlus devices are always faster than pretty much any other phone on the market. But if you'd be to compare this to the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, the phones are equally fast, and even though this one has only 4 gigs of RAM, I haven't really noticed any difference for multitasking between this and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. And I've actually done a speed test video in between these two devices. I'm gonna leave a link in the video's description or the top right corner if you wanna check it out. As for LG's UI, well, it's definitely better than previous LG devices, but it's still not my favorite. I mean, it looks a bit cartoonish, and I still prefer installing Nova Launcher on the device and getting rid of that LG UI. Now, I do install Nova Launcher on pretty much any phone that I use, so this is not something special or different with this phone. I just use Nova Launcher because I already have my wallpaper set up and everything set up, and I just prefer Nova Launcher over the stock UI from any manufacturer. Another thing that has been improved for the LG G7 is the speaker, but we still only get one tiny little speaker. Now, the speaker does sound very good and better than any other phone that has one single speaker, but it's just one speaker, so you cannot compare this with other phones that have dual speakers, because if you have a speaker pointed at you, it's much better than just having one speaker. So the speaker is very loud, sounds very good, but it's just not as good as any other phones that have two speakers. So definitely an improvement, but it could have been better. And it's time to conclude this video. So if you're considering buying the LG G7, well, you're not gonna go wrong with it because it is a very nice phone and it's just as nice as the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, but it's smaller and lighter. It takes an SD card as well, it has wireless charging, it has IP68 certification, it has very good cameras, and the cameras are actually better than the cameras on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. So this is a very nice phone, so if you're considering buying this phone, definitely go for it. It's just that the phone doesn't offer anything spectacular and out of the ordinary, so it just blends in with all the other flagships from 2018. But overall, it is a very nice phone. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.